Hey guys, First Look Gamer here, and today I wanted to talk about my top 5 Zelda games of all time and what makes them so great. Let's go. Starting off, I have to do an honorable mention, and that's Ocarina of Time. Now I know for a lot of people that's got to be their number 1 Zelda game of all time. For me, it was not. It was a great game, but honestly I believe Majora's Mask, just released a little bit later, was an even better game that added even more features. I love the storyline, I love the setting, but just not my cup of tea. It is one of my top games. It's definitely number 6, but today it's my honorable mention. Starting off at number 5 is Twilight Princess, and one of the greatest things I like about this game is the dark setting. I mean, from the very start, everything seems kind of peaceful. You're by a creek or it's a waterfall, and then all hell breaks loose and the world goes into darkness. You change into a wolf. The wolf part of the game is probably my least favorite part, but it does add to the dark setting. There's a little guy that rides on your back, and he's kind of like a little demon, or as in the other games, he's your fairy. But in this game, he helps guide you along the way. And also what's really cool about the game is the dungeons. The dungeons are some of the coolest out of all the Zelda series. One of my favorite dungeons is the one where you snowboard down a level to get to it, and it's a big ice dungeon. Really great area. The storyline in this game, like I was talking about before, it's a very dark setting. Zelda gets taken away and captured, kind of like Majora's Mask in that way, but this one's just dark from the get-go, and that's kind of what contributes to the dungeons in the cellar dungeon or on the ice level. Really great game. Number 4 is Link to the Past. I think everyone knows why Link to the Past is so great. It takes what's in the NES game and brings it up a step to the Super Nintendo. With the new Super Nintendo graphics, I mean, when the game starts off, it's raining. It's got really cinematic music. You're just kind of going around trying to find the different dungeons in the game. The storyline is my one gripe with the game. Not a whole lot of storyline, but it's the action, the different dungeons, the bosses. It kind of perfected that top-down Zelda that everyone loves so much, and so that's why it's my number 4. Number 3 is Majora's Mask. I love Majora's Mask. I think it's one step up from Ocarina of Time. It includes a different masks throughout the game, so there's more collectibles. It has a super dark setting, just like Twilight Princess, which I love, giving it that creepy feel. There's a moon overhead the whole time, and you always feel like it's going to drop down and kill everyone in the world at any given time. My one gripe in the game is a 3-day clock system. That's showing when the moon is going to come down and destroy all the Earth. But it's also one of the great things about the game because it lets you do missions in different time segments. And you have to complete one thing on one day, zoom to the next day, and complete the different part of the mission that day. It makes it a really great experience. It is a hassle to go through the dungeons in that set time, but when you get the song to make time slow down, it gets a lot better. Number 2 is Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was a breath of fresh air, no pun intended. The cel-shaded graphics were amazing. We knew the Switch wasn't that powerful, so the fact that it had these type of graphics to make this great open world game for a game that we already loved in Zelda was just amazing. It's not my first favorite Zelda of all time because of all the different shrines and the lack of a storyline. Not a whole lot of storyline in this one, but the sense of adventure is unlike any other Zelda. I mean, when you first set out, you look at the big open world and you could tell you're in Hyrule. And that's just what makes it so great. There's also just so many items, so many things you can do throughout the game. Like, one of the first things I like to do in the game is try to get Link's original outfit and get the green cap and everything like that. But you can also get Shadow Link, all these other cool items. Lots of secrets within the game, and overall, great game. Just need a little bit more storyline. Number 1. Now this might be controversial to most people because it is not liked by a lot of people. But number 1 for me is Wind Waker. Wind Waker is gorgeous. Even playing back on the GameCube, it looks like you're playing a cartoon. You come down into your little island, you can see all the different colors of the water versus the sand. It was unreal when I first saw it. And then you get introduced to the combat system, and the combat I think is the best Zelda has ever gotten. All the different moves you learn with the sword and the shield, it's just amazing. Makes for great boss battles, which when the bosses all have those crazy graphics, it's just a great time. A lot of people don't like the boat, but I love the boat. I think it's a good way to take a break from the game, just put yourself in the direction you need to go and set the controller down. But another thing about the ocean is you run into little islands, little mysteries, little secrets, and there's tons of different items to pick up, different things for Link that he can use in the game. Not as many as Majora's Mask, but it was just enough and just right. It gave that pirate sense and feeling, and the end of the game, I won't spoil it for you, but was definitely my favorite. What a way to end this ocean Zelda type game. It definitely earns my spot as #1 Zelda game of all time. Thank you guys for watching my top 5 Zelda games. I know my list is a little bit different than others, but just the way I played them and ones that stood out to me, these are the most memorable, and this is what really stuck out. Just thinking back on all these great games, Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time, so that's why I wanted to start this channel. Already talking about it. It's really affected me, and it's one thing that got me back into gaming after I had a long break. So I know a lot of people agree it's their favorite game, but if you like these videos, please subscribe below, and thanks for watching.